Hey traders, Parker here with another indicator. Today I'll be introducing you to the multi-time frame anchored VWAP and point of control indicator. As you can see on the screen, we have our bubbles for those indicators. Right now they're stacked because the indicator reverts or starts back over every January. So you have our VWAPs and our pointer controls from day all the way up to the year. So if I were to drop down to a 15-minute chart, you can see your daily and your weekly. But I didn't put them on the actual higher time frame or the above a day chart because I feel like it would clutter it up and you wouldn't get a best use out of the actual indicator. Let's start with what VWAP stands for. VWAP stands for volume weighted average price. In simple terms, VWAP answers one question: where did most of trading actually happen? Unlike a moving average, VWAP doesn't treat all price equally. Price with more volume matters more. That's important because volume represents commitment. If price is above VWAP, buyers are in control. If price is below VWAP, sellers are in control. If price is near VWAP, the market is balanced. Institutions use VWAP as a benchmark. Buying below VWAP means good execution. Selling above VWAP means good execution. That's why price reacts to VWAP so consistently. Next, we'll go with a running definition for the point of control. It comes from a volume profile. It represents a single price level where most volume traded. Think POC as the price the market agreed upon the most. If VWAP is the average cost, point of control is the most accepted price. Point of control matters because markets tend to rotate back to price they're accepted. It also acts as support and resistance or a balance point during consolidation. Point of control shows you where the auction slowed down and said this price makes sense. Some of the key features of this indicator, you see everything is color coded all to the same time frames. You can see our red VWAP is this is our red VWAP. Anything with the points or the dots, it's called line versus points on Thinkorswim. But all the dotted lines represents the VWAPs. The horizontal lines represents the point of controls, and then you have our vertical lines that show you new month, new year, new 6 month, new quarter, and new day. If I drill back down to the lower time frame, you can see also the other thing I added was a chart. So and a point of control VWAP, point of control chart and a VWAP chart. So these are cumulative. So they're never going to go away. They represent whatever time frame you have your chart on. And you can see it's very useful for QQQ because you can look right here on this 3 year this cumulative VWAP right here, or the chart VWAP, represents 3 years worth of 3 years worth of data. And you can see it act as support back here in April when the market fell out the bottom. And you can see right here our pink VWAP right here represents 6 months. And you can see where it actually acted as support for the year 2025 back here in November. You can see other places where these VWAPs actually acted as resistance as well, but mostly support because we were in trending market going up, and the points of controls as well. So there are some key differences between VWAP and point of control. VWAP is time based; it moves forward as the trading continues. Point of control is price based. Once it forms, it stays fixed. VWAP shows where value is moving. Point of control is where value settle. Individually, they're useful. Together, they are much cleaner stored. Most retail traders only look at daily VWAP. Institutions don't. They track value across day, week, month, quarter, and year because different participants operate on different time horizons. Short-term traders care about daily value. Swing traders care about weekly, monthly value. Long-term money defends quarterly, yearly values. When multiple VWAPs and point of controls line up at the same price, that's not random. That's institutional confluence. Those areas often become major decision zones. So let's drill down and go to the daily And let's look at this 30-minute. We'll do a 30-day, 15-minute, 30-day, 15-minute chart. And this is what it looks like. But for the most part, let's zoom in and let's see where we are. So we can see from here, this is our weekly point of control and our weekly VWAP. You can see that our daily VWAP right here, price struggle with today. And you can see this is where our weekly point of control is and our point of control for the day. This is where most of the action happened here. And once you had a clear high, once you see these highs, a price drop below our daily VWAP, you can see where all the selling and everything just really just came into it. And it really came back to our point of control, chart point of control here, and our chart VWAP here. And you can see it act as support and support back here as well when it fell out the bottom as well Thursday. So, and you can see we scroll back where it actually acted as support as well. So if I zoom in on these 3 days right here, you can see where these 2 points acted as our point of control, and our chart VWAP actually acted as resistance. Price pushed back down, and then it actually pushed back above, and then it acted as support here, 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 and here, and then price went ahead and pushed above. So this is the QQQ. We can go look at it on the S&P 500 as well. You can see the same thing. You can see our weekly VWAP right here actually act as resistance and or supply zone right here. Once price broke it, it tried to go back up there and actually act as resistance. So this is where we are today. Because everything restarts for the year, and that's why all these bubbles are the same right now, just because it's waiting for the year to stretch out. But once the year stretches out, you'll see these different, everything begins to expand as well. But right now we're in January, so everything's pretty much the same, except for the weekly and the daily VWAPs. And I also have the horizontal lines in for the days, the vertical lines for the days and the week as well. One of the other features of this indicator, if you don't want to look at the historical data, you can see where these things act as support as well for our yearly point of control back here in 2023. And this is all this historical data. You can see the same thing act as support as well back here. And when we dropped in November, our 6-month VWAP right here act as support. And you can say our what is this? The yellow one's the 3-month. The quarterly VWAP actually act as resistance once price broke through it, and then from there act as support here. And right now, because our VWAP, everything has restarted back over, it's acting as support. So one of the things is you can come here, and if you don't want to look at the historical ones, you could just say show only current VWAP, show only current point of control. And this side showing only our current VWAP, our only current point of control. The chart VWAP and the chart point of control, they're always going to be there. So once I drill back down into our 30-day, 15-minute, you see it's the same thing. You'll still see your week. You're only going to see 1 week and 1 day. You're not going to see all those other vertical lines. I deliberately designed that way so it wouldn't clutter up your screen. But zooming in, you see everything is basically the same as we saw before. We can look at some other stocks like TSLA, how this indicator is actually acted on Tesla. You can see where all those our VWAPs are. You actually act as resistance right here, or where sellers came in this area right here. And you can see where Tesla pushed above but couldn't hold, tried to hold on our daily VWAP, drop below, hit our weekly VWAP and drop below as well. And you can see where our chart VWAP is way up here, 450. And where is our point of control? Oh, it's down here as well. So our current chart point of control is down here as well. Or it's actually up there. It's underneath those different things. I actually stacked those like that as well. So we can go to, let's say, NVIDIA, well, we go to Apple, and we'll see. This is what the indicator looks like on Apple as well. You can see what Apple was struggling today. Initially, it fell out with the rest of things, but Apple really held up as compared to the QQQ. You can see where it fell out, pushed above, couldn't really get above these two VWAPs, the weekly and the current stacked VWAP for the year, and then you have the daily VWAP here, and then once it was able to, it finally pushed above as well, and it ran into our point of control for the day, but actually ran to our 30 days worth of VWAP on the 15-minute chart, and found resistance right there. So one of the other things, institutions don't predict, they respond to value. How institutions usually use VWAP and point of control together. First, they look for a trend confirmation. If price is above higher time frame VWAPs and hold them above point of control, they treat pullbacks as opportunity for a reason to get in the actual stock. So one of the stocks that's been parabolic is silver, SLV. And you can see right now it just completely fell out from 110 all the way down to 69. Yeah, that's why our chart point of control is. Second, they treat these different levels of VWAP and point of control as mean reversions. If price stretches above or away from VWAP or a major point of control, they expect rotation back towards those value, not endless continuation. You can see that's basically what happened here. I'm not sure that our chart point of control was already down here for the day, but you can see why our point of control for the day is, and you see where silver came back to it. Third, acceptance versus rejection. Holding above VWAP and point of control means acceptance. Failure there means rejection. That tells them whether to add or reduce or stay flat. And you can see right here, once VWAP really lost its point of control for the once price lost its point of control for the week and VWAP for the week, everything really just cascaded down. But one of the things I want to point out, this indicator brings the whole entire framework together and really allows you to see the structure for the liquidity and supply and demand, and where institutions may or may not get into different stocks. And we can zoom in here, and you can see where it just kept trying to get back above that daily VWAP, and then just finally just gave up and just completely sold off. But you had some strong buyers come in at this level and push above. And right now with silver just sitting right there. Some of the other features of this indicator is you can go in there, you can cut off any of the VWAPs or any of the point of controls that you don't want to be shown. You can say I only want to look at the VWAPs and I only want to look at the current point of controls, and I want to look at all the historical VWAPs. So let me go out. Yeah. So now we can see all the historical points of controls, and just like if you were to use the volume profile, right now I have 20 profiles showing. So, and this line weight controls the line weights, the thickness of these point of control lines right here, and you can show the point of control bubbles. You can cut that off, and you can show that'll cut off all the point of control bubbles, or you can go in there, you select which point of control bubbles that you don't want, or you can select which point of controls that you don't want to see as well. This right here lets you offset the bubbles away from the price. So if the bubbles are, so if I zoom out, you'll probably see where, yeah, so the bubbles are covering up price. So, but I have the bubbles pushed out, and if you don't already, when you're using those moving the bubbles around, you need to expand your chart area so you can actually see the bubbles as well. So this is what allows me to see 20 bars, 20 spaces ahead away from my bar, current bar. So that's what that does right there. So we can go look at Microsoft, MSFT. So Microsoft gap down off of this earnings, tried to push above yesterday, but right now it's just sitting here. I have that pink line there because you have this huge gap area right here, and maybe on this 3-year chart, Microsoft might come down to this point of control for 3 years. Hopefully not this VWAP for 3 years, but that would close the gap that it formed here after its earnings back here in 2025 last year. So, but let's see, had on there show only current point of controls. So yes, you can have VWAP day. Some of the other things, I have extensions on here. That's what allowed me to move my bubbles away from the actual. That's what allowed me to move my bubbles away from the from price. So I were to go down here as well. So when it comes to our, let's see. I guess if you're using, so if you ever find that those lines to show you, let me cut this on. Yeah. If you ever find that these lines or these, the lines to show you month, week, quarter, year, day, whatever. If you find that those are too bright, you can come in there and you can change those different colors as well. So if you don't like the colors that I've already chosen, just come down here. Here's your globules. They'll change all the different lines here as well. So you can change all those different colors. You can change the colors of the bubbles as well. But that's going to be basically the indicator. That's everything that it does. We can go look at some other stocks. Oh, the last thing, it also scans for stocks as well. So there's a scanner that comes with this as well. So right now with the scanner, I have a set parameter set for any stocks above $10 that had to have at least 1 million volume today, and they had to at least have one share. I have my seasonality script on here as well, so I'm looking for any bullish stocks for January. And the close has to be greater than the month. I mean, close has to, the month open. And the close, I'm looking on here. I think I had it set. It's not going to show. I have to reload that. So study. And this is basically how you're going to use it. So I'm going to look for a price is greater than, let's go to study, 2026 anchor VWAP. I just so we can choose. You can choose whatever VWAP that you want. These extensions are just those extensions that allow me to move the bubbles over away from price, so you can see it more clearly. And here are all your different. This is the wrong thing. I apologize. So let me come out of that and let me go back to study. Look for the one that says scan. SCA in 2026. There we go. This is the one. I knew it was wrong because my never run any POCs in there. So there's our POC point of control. So you scan for price or close being above any of those different levels. With everything resetting with the year, so I'm going to choose the 1 month because basically everything's still lined up for 1 month. So I'm going to press OK. And now I'm going to scan. And this is basically what it gave me. And I'm looking for bullish things for the year. So it gave me deck IP. So all these are going to be above their monthly VWAPs. And they're going to be bullish for the seasonality for the month of January, and this is their market dip. So it's also sorting according to it, the market difference between it. Let me slow down. So it's also plotting things against the S&P 500% change. So this is its difference between its percent change versus the S&P 500 percent change. I'm not sure if I did it for the day or I did it for the month. So I set it for the day. So this is 19% above whatever the S&P 500 did today. So DECK is one of those, and you can see where it's above our VWAPs right here, and the yellow one will be our monthly VWAP, but everything's reset. So here is DEC, and it's above our monthly VWAP, but it's running into our cumulative 3-year VWAP, because that's why I have my chart set to 3 years. We can drill down to a 30-day, 15-minute. One other thing, when I was looking at this earlier, how DEC, our yearly VWAP right here, really rejected DEC. It tried to get above that and our chart VWAP right here, and then our monthly VWAP right here as well. And this is where our point of control for that month actually settled as well. You can see where the candles got brighter, it increased in volume where everything was selling as well. So we'll go to a 30-day, 15-minute chart, and we can look at it, and you can see where it gapped up, had great earnings. So it gapped up from 96 up to 119, and it's still pushing above. LITE, I think was one of the other ones. Yeah, but it has almost like a blowout candle as well. Scan. So let's just go Coca-Cola KO. Coke is bullish during January. It is. And you see where Coke really just pushed above. And this is the new seasonality, 26 seasonality indicator. I just wanted to see this, but so yeah, 66 on the 3-year, but I need to push it to 10 years because that's what my seasonality scanner had it set for. So 70% of the time, Coke is up in the month of January. So cool. And so month to date, Coke is up 7.1% versus its usual 0.38% for the month of January. And that's the difference of 6.72%. And the highest 52-week high is 74.90, and the 52-week low is 62. And the sentiment is at 100%. That's great for Coke. But this is going to be the end of the video because I'm now starting to ramble and starting to look at different things. But if you're interested in this indicator, just look at the link in the description. I hope this was helpful, and I wish you the best, and God bless.